Hey everyone, welcome to the Wilson Homestead. So today I finally want to give you the grand tour of my vegetable garden. Now, I'm going to tell you I am not proud of this because I had such a late start. It rained for like a month solid, and I had a late start getting everything out, and it's been rainy even still. I've been having a hard time getting out here to work because it's been so wet. So it's really weedy, but this is the reality of gardening. There's going to be weeds, and hopefully I'm going to get them taken care of next week whenever I get some free time. But I decided, even though I'm not ready to show you this, I just want to show you the reality of it because it is what it is. So let's go on a little tour of the veggie garden. I have several different kinds of tomatoes in here. These are the ones that you saw growing on my front porch, and the ones I started from seed in the basement. I have carbon tomatoes. This little short one right here, whenever I was getting ready to transplant my tomatoes, I accidentally broke the top out of one of them. So I stuck the top of it that I broke off into some soil, and it actually rooted. And it's doing pretty well now. I just got it put in the garden, so I don't really know if it'll have time to produce this year, but I thought, what the heck, let's give him a chance. And this is also a carbon tomato, and I have several other different varieties. I have Dr. Veggie, however you say it. It's an heirloom. It's a yellow tomato, and it actually has a really cool story behind it. He actually owned a circus, and he used like elephant manure to fertilize his garden, which is really cool. So I think I have 2 rows of big tomatoes, and then the rest of them are all like cherries and San Marzanos. I got really carried away with cherry tomatoes this year for some reason. These are all cherries that are over on this side. I have black cherries. This whole row is black cherries. I have Juliet over there. These are the San Marzanos, and I actually have some fruit setting on these. And more blooms. And these here in this row, this is a new variety that I'm trying. They're called Midnight Snack. They're like a blackish purple color cherry tomato. I'm so excited about these because they look really beautiful in the catalog. But I have some fruit sitting on right there. You can see the little black stripes in them already. Cannot wait to eat one of these. Some more setting on right here. And these on this end I think are Thai pink egg. They're also a small cherry tomato. I have some sitting on here too. See those? So like I said earlier, this has just really been a rough year for me in the garden. The rain, the torrential rain, was one thing to deal with. And then I put out a bunch of beans, and the rabbits got to it. So I've fixed my fence since then, so hopefully the bunnies can't get in here anymore. But I replanted, and then it got too wet again, and my seed rotted. And so I still have a few places that need replanted in beans. But anyway, this row is Blue Lake bush beans. I've grown these for many years, and they've always done good for me. So I just continue planting them. I have another row over there. Over in the next two rows, I have tenderette. I had to replant a lot of these just recently because I have empty patches in here, you can see. So hopefully they come up. They only take like 55 days to produce, so I'm guessing that I'll have enough time to get beans off of the second planting. These are, I think, the Juliet tomatoes. Hold on, let me check a tag. Yeah, Juliet's. I lost one right there, but that's okay because I planted too many cherries anyway, so. I've been trying to keep up with trimming the foliage and stuff, but they're kind of getting away from me right now. And the garlic, I need to actually harvest it right now, but we got so much rain this morning, I kind of want to wait until the ground dries out a little bit before I pull this garlic. But whenever I harvest it, I will bring you along. And I have a volunteer tomato over here because I use compost in my garden. So every once in a while I'll get a volunteer tomato plant. And I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm just going to leave it there. See if it does anything. Find out what it is. I have another row of tenderette beans here. They're also bush beans. And I planted one zucchini. It's a Ford Hook zucchini. And this row looks terrible, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I've only got half of it weeded, but this is all of my carrots. I planted 3 varieties this year. I have rainbow on this end, scarlet Nantes, I believe, in the middle, and then Danvers half long on the end. But as you can see in the places I weeded, there's the baby carrots. These are my banana peppers. As you can see in there, there's little baby peppers coming on, and this one actually has a pretty good size one on it. Seems like every time I grow these peppers, they get that like purple line on them. I don't know if that's a problem or not, but it happens every time whenever I plant them in here. And I also planted a few carrots around the peppers. Alright, these are Zabroon shallots. I hope they do good since I got such a late start getting them out here, but these are the seeds that I started inside. I think it was in February. So I've got Zabroon shallots, also known as banana shallots. And these are Walla Walla onion seeds. And these are Granix hybrid. Now, in these raised beds over here, I told you earlier that we were working on this project. We only got 3 beds in this year, which that's fine with me. Maybe we can do 3 more next year, and you know, it's just so much work to get these blocks in place. So if we get 3 done each year, I think that it'll be a lot easier. Like, I won't have all these weeds to compete with in the pathways, because I can put down cardboard and mulch to keep the weeds at least out of the pathways. But anyway, in these beds I have half runner beans, which I have never grown before, but they're off to a pretty good start. I have this fencing that me and my husband arched over top of these beds to grow the beans up. And then inside of the cinder blocks, I tried a few different things because I didn't know how well is a plant going to grow in a place like this because of the heat, and I don't know if it'll dry out really fast. But anyway, I tried some carrots, which are coming up, and also up at this end I tried a few bush beans, 1 in each hole. So it's just kind of an experiment. We'll see what happens. I put in a couple onions over on that side too. But as you can see, this side of the garden looks way better than the rest of it because I've been able to mulch the pathways, and I actually got this part weeded. But I put some, let me see what kind's in this bed, some rainbow carrots down the middle of this bed. I don't know how that's going to work out either, but I thought, man, that's a lot of space in between there to be wasted, so I'm going to try some carrots in there. I know they can deal with a little bit of shade, but once these beans grow big, I don't know how much light they're actually going to get. But we'll try it this year and see what happens. This bed here is also half runner beans. And a volunteer potato over there, you can see coming up in the middle of the bed. Right there. This one hasn't been weeded yet, so it's kind of a mess. But as you can see, there's carrots in there. And in this last raised bed, I planted, I think, 4 different kinds of cucumbers. And I have a volunteer potato coming up right there. And around the edges, I planted, I think, like 3 or 4 onions just to see what they do in these cinder blocks. And around the rest of it, I planted carrots. But these are national pickling cucumbers, and I had to replant some of the seeds because I had spotty germination. I think it wasn't the seed, I think it was actually all of the wet weather we've been getting, because it seemed like the seeds would just rot in the ground. So these newly planted ones are muncher cucumbers. I like the little cucumbers because I make a lot of pickles, a lot of dill pickles. And some of these, I believe, are cross-country hybrid. I can't find the tag right now, but I think that's what they were called. And then down here at the end, these are Armenian cucumbers. I've never tried Armenian cucumbers before, but they look really cool and I wanted to give them a shot, so here they are. I'm thinking next year I want to try the cucamelons because everybody goes wild about those. Like, you see them on Facebook and stuff all the time. So that's probably going to have a place here next year. Oh, and I wanted to show you while I'm over here my grapevines. I have grapes. These are a Concord grape. And I really need to prune this thing. I've got to do some research because I don't know how to prune grapes, and this thing has become massive and now I don't know what to do with it. So hopefully I can get it pruned next spring. So my husband started a new job probably about 3 weeks ago, and he hasn't been able to do the lawn trimming here lately, and this happened. This is a Cleome. I grew these about probably 6 or 7 years ago, and this area usually gets trimmed and mowed. I can't believe the seed lasted that long, but here she is in her glory. She's only about 2 feet tall. They usually grow a lot taller, but from being trimmed and cut down, she's a little shorty. It's also known as a spider plant. The leaves look similar to like marijuana leaves almost. Very pretty. Nice little surprise. Here's a quick update on my raised bed. Everything's doing really good. I have butter crunch lettuce in here, some romaine, black seeded Simpson, and back in the back is Swiss chard. And this has kind of been a problem. This is pak choi, and you can see that the flea beetles have done a number on it. I haven't sprayed it or anything because I'm hoping that if I just leave this in here, they'll eat this and leave everything else alone. So the herbs are doing good. Chives are really growing. Parsley is massive now. And rosemary's getting there. She's having a hard time, but she's getting there. Now the soil in this bed is composted horse manure, and I also mixed in a lot of coconut coir. I bought like 2 big, I don't know if you'd call them bales, or they're like cubes of it, compressed cubes, and you just hydrate it with water and it grows, and then you can break it apart, and I just mixed it in with the soil, and it's really nice. It's really nice textured soil, and everything seems to be doing pretty good, so I'm happy with it. But I just wanted to show you this because I'm harvesting lettuce today because I want to have a salad for lunch, so I wanted to give you a look at it before I go cutting a bunch of leaves off of it. So I think this is going to make a pretty good salad. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time here on the Wilson Homestead. Bye guys.